Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about my cross stitch. Today is March 19th, 2025 and this is Flosstube episode number 32. Welcome to my channel. Let's see, I usually film every 2 weeks. I'm a little bit late this week or this time around. It's been like 2 weeks and a few days. So I am a 4th grade teacher and I'm currently on spring break. And so I was putting it off a little bit because I was like, oh, I have all week I can film, right? So it's a Wednesday afternoon and I'm filming, which is not something I typically get to do. Usually it's on the weekends. So here I am. In the background here, you might see my little sheepy. I got him at TJ Maxx yesterday and he wanted to be my video today. So he's in the background. Very excited about that sheep for some reason. Anyway, let's see. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here, and I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel, leaving me a comment, liking my video. And if you are returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back, and I can't wait to chat with you even more. So let's talk about what I have for you today. I've got a fully finish, I've got 2 finishes, I've got 2 new starts, I've got 3 whips. I have been stitching, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to share with you is a fully finish that I just did the other day. Here it is. Isn't that so pretty? So this chart is called Folk Floral Ornament. It's from Teresa Kogut. It was from her Patreon in January. And here it is. So this is my first heart-shaped finish. And I think it turned out pretty good. Let me show you the back. On the back, I put some Lady Dot Chenille. Oh, I'm not remembering the color name. I don't remember the color name. But not chenille, sorry, velveteen. Still don't remember the color name. And then around the edges, I have the Lady Dot Chenille. Pretty sure this chenille is called Vintage. So I had actually gotten the velveteen and the chenille in a pack together from my friend Jody at Simply Stitching Ocala. I don't think she currently has any velveteen and chenille packs in her shop, but she does have some fun packs of different colors of chenille together, which is really nice if you don't want to buy a whole package of one color of chenille. You could purchase from her a package of 3 smaller cuts of different colors of chenille, and I think she has other bigger packs too with more than 3 in it, but go check her out. I will definitely link her shop below. But I used one of the packs that I got from her with the velveteen and the chenille, and there's my stitching. So I stitched this on a 40 count. It was a fabric that I got from the Roxy Floss Co. Fabric Club. It's not a fabric of the month because I don't get one every month. I feel like I get one every other month. And this was the color Irish Coffee, the fabric. And for the floss, I'm pretty sure it was all DMC, if I'm not mistaken. I just finished this the other day. I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering the details. I have the details right here, and then I dropped them on the floor, so never mind. I'm a hot mess today. This is what happens when you get off your schedule, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, I do remember. It was all DMC with the exception of the red in the house and the red in some of these flowers. That was Cayenne, I want to say, from Weeks Dye Works. But yeah, I'm just so proud of myself for this finish. I was very nervous. I have only ever done one other like shaped finish, and that was the Stacy Nash Animal Crackers Nettle. That was so stressful. This is a little less stressful, but still stressful, and on its own accord. But I think it turned out pretty good. I do keep looking at this little side here because this is the side that I left open when I flipped it inside out, or right side out, I should say. And so I hand sewed that part together, and I feel like it just kind of like dips in the slightest bit. I'm sure it's not noticeable, but of course for me, that's like where my eye is drawn because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I hope you don't keep hearing like my door kind of banging. I have the window open in here because it's kind of toasty in my room. It's not toasty enough to turn the AC on, but toasty enough that I needed to crack a window, and it's kind of windy and it keeps like making the door kind of move in its frame. But anyway, there's my fully finish. I love it. I love that this is kind of an everyday type of stitch. I know it has a lot of flowers on it, but I feel like the colors aren't like super springy. So I feel like this is something I could leave out all of the time. And I'm going to, because I'm very proud of it. So there's that. All right, next I had a small start and finish. This was the recent pattern from Primrose Cottage Stitches. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It calls for 3 different colors of cottage garden threads. I had one in stock. I had in stash. I had the like dark grayish black color. I had that one, and I just substituted a couple of other cottage garden threads that I already had in stash. What were they? So the called for yellow, like gold color, is Wattle by Cottage Garden Threads, and I used Dandelion. And then the called for green is a color called Pryke, P-R-Y-K-E. I didn't have that. I had a color called Conservatory, which was very variegated, as you can see, and I used that instead. And I think it turned out super cute. Unfortunately, I didn't get it fully finished before St. Patrick's Day, but I will get it fully finished before I put it away because I want to have it for next St. Patrick's Day. But that was a cute, fun little stitch. And then I have a bigger finish. It's not fully finished yet, but I did finish this yesterday. Let me show it to you. So this is Sarah's Sewing Bag by Stacy Nash Designs. I stitched this with my friend Sarah. She is Handmade by Sarah W. here on Flosstube and on Instagram. We started this back on March 2nd, 2024, and then we finished it yesterday on March 18th, 2025. So a little over a year. We kind of pull this out every so often and add to it, and we were finally like, let's just get this done. So you're probably wondering, why is this upside down? Why are these upside down? Well, that's because it is a sewing bag. And so when we fully finish it, this section here is going to be the front of the bag. This is going to be the back of the bag. And that's going to be the flap that folds over. So you can see from the pattern here, this part up here is going to be the flap. So when it folds over, it'll be right side up. And then those will be right side up as well when it's folded over to make the back of the sewing bag. So for right now, it looks a little funny, but when we make it into a sewing bag, it's going to make a whole lot more sense. And I cannot wait. I'm very nervous about that type of finish. My sewing skills are pretty amateur at this point, but I'm always willing to try something new. So we are going to be fully finishing this into a lovely sewing bag, and we're going to keep some fun stitchy notions in there, and it's going to be a great memento of our friendship. I was just thinking to myself, we probably should have put our initials in here somewhere. I'll have to talk to Sarah about that. So mine is stitched on a 40 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. That is not the called for. I'm trying to think what the called for. The called for is 36 count Witchelt Belfast linen in the color Natural. And it's all Weeks Dye Works floss. I did not have all of the Weeks Dye Works, so I did convert some of the Weeks Dye Works to DMC. And Sarah did the same. So I think it turned out really, really pretty. I think it looks amazing on this Saltbush, and I cannot wait to fully finish this. So hopefully the next time I see you, this will be a fully finish, and I will be using it and enjoying it. And there it is. Let me bring it in a little closer for you. So pretty. It was weird stitching those like berry baskets and that flower in the urn like upside down. It felt weird to stitch those upside down. All right, actually I'm gonna sit this over here so it can lay flat. I want to put my heart back here too so you can see it while we're talking. There we go. Oh, well, maybe. I scoot over a little. There we go. Okay, let's talk about my new starts. I've had 2 since I saw you last. They are very recent. This first one I started last night, so it's not got a whole lot of progress. Hold on, it's got a needle in it. I'm gonna take the needle out. Okay, so this was actually a market start. I got this pattern in the mail yesterday. The pattern is called Spring Sampler Fragment. Let me show it to you. From Shakespeare's Peddler. It's so cute. And the reason it's called Spring Sampler Fragment, and she talks about it here in the pattern, is it's designed to look like, it says it right here, it says, please note, this is designed to look like an old piece of a sampler and it's meant to look incomplete, like somebody just kind of like stopped in the middle there. So you'll notice it doesn't have an entire alphabet. It's just like cut off right there. That's why it's called a fragment. I think it's so pretty. I did get the called for fabric. The fabric is Dark Soil by XG Design. I got 40 count. That is the called for. I got mine on Kitten Stitcher. And here's my start. So I don't even know if you can see this or notice it. It's bothering me, but so last night I was stitching on this. I got a start on it. I am using all the called for colors, by the way. It calls for Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and some Gentle Arts. So I am using all the called for fancy floss. There is a DMC conversion as well. But anyway, last night I was stitching this, and when I was stitching this A over here, I got like a little knot in my floss, and sometimes you can just tug the knot in and it'll come out. So I was tugging, and I think I was tugging a little too hard. I was being a little aggressive with it. But let me see if I can show it to you. I don't even know if you can see it. But right here in the fabric, when I was tugging my floss, I guess it tugged on something in the fabric and it pulled it and it made this little like line. I don't even know if I'm pointing at it. It made this little like line in the fabric. If you hold it back, you can't even see it. So I was so annoyed by that. I was like, I'm not starting this over. Obviously, I don't have a very big start, but I just had to put it down because I was so annoyed with myself for being aggressive and making a mess of my fabric. But I think I'm going to keep going. I don't think it's that noticeable. Just note to self, don't pull on your thread when you're working. I've never had this happen to me ever. I use a lot of XG Design fabric, but I don't know. It's probably not a big deal. But anyway, there's my little tiny start. I just think this is so, like, such a gentle, muted color palette. And I think it's going to be really pretty. Although it's kind of big. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. I mean, this is 40 count. And look, it's like almost the width of my hand across. So it's going to be a pretty generous sized pillow, even on 40 count. But I think it's super pretty. I love it. So that's my first new start. That was last night. I have an even more recent new start. Let me get this out of the way. Oh, I will show you my project bags as I go along. This one is from Pepper Pot Shop. I always have to think about it because my mom and my sister both have Etsy shops. They both make beautiful project bags. This one is from my sister. This is from Pepper Pot Shop. And this is one of her more recent ones. It's so beautiful. So I decided I wanted to use it for this one. I don't think there's a bee skep in here. There's not, but it's spring. It's spring. Bees, spring. So I decided to use this for that one. I love the little honeycomb charm. All right, my next new start. Let me set this aside. I started this one this morning. My friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W, and I started these this morning. This was a chart that she gave me for my birthday back in October. Goodness. The chart is called Birds of a Feather by Stacy Nash. Oh, Birds of a Feather needlebook, I should say, by Stacy Nash. So there's the front. So you stitch the 2 pieces, but you also stitch 2 pieces for the inside. So Sarah and I were talking about that, like, you know, is that going to be a functional needlebook? Like, I don't know that there is a needle sticking in here. I don't know if this is something we would use as a needlebook or just like as a decoration. But that's what it is. And then you can see it's got the ribbon and you got the initials down here. So Sarah did send me some ribbon for it. I think this is a lady dot ribbon. And she also sent me the fabric and the floss. She gave me, I'm holding it upside down, I think. She gave me this wooden floss keep. And it's got all the colors that I need for this pattern. And it's got an S for our names. And like I said, she sent me the fabric too. So she sent me, this is a favorite of hers. Now Sarah's an Ada stitcher, but we're using, I don't know if she's using the same color as me. So anyway, the fabric I'm using is a 40 count platinum Newcastle linen. It is one of her favorites. And there's my start. I did the bird. Like I said, I just started it this morning, so I don't have like a ton of progress, but I started with this bird here. So Sarah started. I'm not gonna tell you where Sarah started. You're just gonna have to watch her video. In fact, Sarah and I are planning on doing a video tomorrow. Sarah and I do, we try to do monthly videos that we call Stitching with the Sarahs that we put on both of our channels because she and I stitch a lot of the same things. I think we're a month or 2 behind on our Stitching with the Sarahs updates. So we're going to remedy that tomorrow. So you're just gonna have to wait and see hers on our video or on her next Flosstube update. But there I am, there's the bird, so cute. And I believe all the colors they're all Weeks Dye Works. So we're using the called for Weeks Dye Work flosses. So pretty. Thank you, Sarah, for giving that to me. We are keeping them in our matching bags. So I got these bags for us for Christmas from a shop called Isabella Sews on Etsy. She has these bags that she makes out of the selvages from her fabrics. And so they're all one of a kind. They're all very unique. I love the rainbow zippers. I love that there's a front pocket and of course the main compartment there. And Sarah also sent me this little charm with an S on it. It was just like a plain unstained, unpainted wooden S. She had the same one for herself, so we decided to paint them pink and put them on our matching bags. So our birds are going in here. This is actually what I was keeping. What was I keeping in here? Oh, I was keeping my floral heart that I showed you, that thing in here. But when we finished it, I was like, I gotta put something else in there. So the bird was the perfect choice for that. Okay, moving right along, let's get into whips now that I've shown you my new starts. Sorry, I'm trying to keep everything together so it doesn't get disorganized. Oh, how's everybody doing out there while I'm getting this next one ready? I'm like so ready for spring. It's not quite spring here yet. It's been the weather's been very moody. My husband's a teacher as well, but his district has spring break in a couple of weeks, so we have different spring breaks. That's why I'm just here stitching, not on vacation or anything, and that's okay. All right, thank you for waiting while I got myself ready. My next whip is Entwined Hearts by the Scarlett House. I had this kitted up for several years, and I finally got a start on it. So here's where I'm at. I don't have a whole lot of progress. What I've been doing for like the last week is just putting a strand in a day, just so I can keep some forward progress going on this. I am using all of the called for Classic Colorworks Belle Soies. There's only 4 of them. They're very lovely to stitch with. They're very soft. But I like the muted color palette because, you know, the fabric is red. But I'm just working away on that. So I'm just going to have small increments of progress on this if I maintain that 1 strand a day rule. We'll see how it goes. But I think this is so pretty. It's going to be so beautiful when it's done. That's my first time stitching on red fabric, so that's kind of cool. I'm keeping that in a project bag from Painted Leaf Co. This is from my mom's shop. I think this one came out last year with the Teresa Kogut bunny fabric. So pretty. I thought with the red, it was perfect for my red sampler. So cute. And there's hearts on it, you know, entwined hearts. It goes together in my mind. Do you guys try to match your project bags to your projects? I try. Sometimes it's a bit of a stretch, but you know what? As long as it makes me happy, that's all that matters, right? Okay. Okay, sorry. Forgot to put one of my flosses away. Okay, I have 2 more whips to show you. This next one I've been steadily making some progress on since February. I did a restart of this in February. So this was something I had started, I want to say 2022, as a stitch along with, oh God, I'm like losing my mind today. Alexis, My Amazing World, sorry, like brain fart. We had started this back in like 2022. She finished hers last year and it looks amazing. But this is the Lizzie Kate Things Unseen Mystery Sampler. It comes in 3 parts. You do have to buy all 3 parts. You can find them on 123 Stitch. And that's what it looks like as a completed sampler. And so I had originally started mine on 32 count Ren. Back then, that's all I stitched on was like 28 or 32 count. But since then, I have discovered that I really like stitching with 1 strand. And so I decided just to restart it. And I'm so glad I did. So I restarted it on 40 count Ren. Ren by Picture This Plus is the called for fabric. And I am using all the called for Weeks Dye Works colors. And here's where I'm at. So I am proud of myself. I did finish the entire border. This border doesn't look like a lot, but it is actually pretty time consuming. So I was glad to get that done. And I've been working on the flowers and the pot. So still making progress on this. I would like to get this done before summer. That would be nice. It seems like a very springtime stitch to me. So one thing I was thinking about, in this chart next to the house, there's like a green butterfly. I don't think I want a green butterfly. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to change the butterfly's color or should I just put something else in its place? Or just leave it out entirely. Would it look weird to just take that out and not have something in its place? Maybe I just put a few more bees there? I don't know. I would appreciate some thoughts. That would be helpful. But, yeah. There it is. I think it's looking beautiful. I cannot wait to get this done. Several of my friends have finished this. I did stitch this with several friends. Stitched it with my friend Allison. She's AllieCat13. She finished hers. She's in the process of getting it framed. Benton Station Crafter, who is my friend Karen. My friend Emily, Short and Stitchy, is stitching it. My friend Lori, the Grateful Needle, is stitching it. I hope I don't forget anybody here. Mrs. Jones, from Mrs. Jones Stitching on Flosstube and Instagram. She finished it. Let's see who else is stitching it. My friend Maggie with an I, she's stitching it. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody and I apologize. No, my friend Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala. I knew somebody else was stitching that. So, and if anybody else is stitching it and I forgot to mention you, I apologize. My brain is on spring break today, apparently. That's okay. Our brains need a break too, right? And I'm keeping that in a So Much to Love bag. I thought all those spring colors were beautiful for that. And then my final whip is also something I've been working on a bit lately. It is the it's the Happy Hearts sampler from Birds of a Feather. Let me get it on my board here. I started this in February, again with my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W, and my friend Maggie. Maggie with an I is stitching this. And here's what it looks like. These Birds of a Feather charts are out of print, but Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher has been recharting them. And I really appreciate that because I love these charts. I do have Sally Spencer as well, and I cannot wait to start that at some point. But this one was really calling to me. And so I started it in February, and here's where I'm at. I love this so much. I am using all the called for floss. I believe they're all, let me look at my chart. I believe they're all Weeks Dye Works. Yeah, all Weeks Dye Works with the exception of one DMC color. But that's what it looks like. Sorry, I feel like I always have a shadow from my phone because the ring light is behind my phone. My ring light does have like a phone holder, but I never use it. I use a tripod. Maybe I should just use the ring light like it's supposed to be used, because then I get a shadow. I always got to make things more difficult. Anyway, but here's my Happy Hearts sampler. So I believe since I saw you last, I did this heart. It's got the letters KMJ. Those are the first initials of my 3 children's names. And I thought that was fitting because there's 3 flowers. I added this flower over here, and I think that heart, and the words, and this arrow, and this flower over here. And I think I probably finished this bird. So I feel like I've added a lot to this since I showed it to you last. And I'm gonna keep plugging away on this. It's so beautiful. I am stitching this on a 40 count Roxy Flossco fabric, another one from my fabric club, in the color Cove. I believe it was the January fabric. It was the most recent one I got. It does have like a greenish grayish hue to it, which I thought worked really well with the colors in the chart. So that's where I'm at. Sorry, the wind is really blowing and it's making my door move. Lily thinks there's somebody. Lily is my dog. She thinks there's somebody outside the door. She keeps looking at the door like, who's out there? So I'm sorry if that's been annoying anybody throughout the video, but we're almost done here. So there's my Happy Hearts sampler. I love it. And I'm keeping that in a bag from Michelle Lee Quilts, who is a personal friend of mine. Oh, I love the houses on the back of this. So yeah, there we go. So that was my stitching. I have been very pleased to have some stitching time to myself, and spring break's not over, so I'm just going to keep stitching while I can. Before I go, I wanted to share something with you that was sent to me. So back in like December, this person reached out to me. Her name is Melanie, and she has a shop. She's located in France. She has a shop online and on Etsy where she sells hand-dyed fabrics and floss. And she was like, hey, do you mind if I send some samples to you? You know, I would love if you would share it on your social media and with your viewers. And I was like, sure, that'd be great. So let me show you what I have first, and then she's got some coupon codes for you. So that's very generous. Thank you, Melanie. So first, let's take a look at the fabrics. Aren't those pretty? They just scream spring to me. So these are, let's see, I'm just checking my notes here to make sure. So these are 3 pieces of 32 count linen in the colors lilac, leaf, and marshmallow. So pretty. My daughters have already been eyeballing these. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to share with them, but these are so pretty. I love these colors. And then she also sent me some floss, and they have subscriptions for their floss and thread clubs. And so this was from the Borealis pack from the January club. Let me just kind of show them all to you together. Oh, just such beautiful, like jewel tones. I gotta show these to you separately. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about the coupon codes. So like I mentioned, she's located in France. So these coupon codes are for a certain amount of euros off of your purchase. So I had to look, and euros in comparison to US dollars is pretty similar. So the first coupon code, I'll go ahead and show these to you while I'm talking. The first coupon code is Stitchy Sarah 5, and that gets you 5 euros off of a 20 euro purchase, either on their Etsy shop or their website. Now their Etsy shop, when I went on there, everything is converted to US currency. So that was a little easier for me to tell how much I was spending. And the website is, the currency is euros. And so, but I think the conversion, like 20 euros is like $21.70 some cents in US dollars. So I did try out the code. I went on there, I put like $22 worth of inventory in my cart, and I put the coupon code in, and it took like $5.70 something cents off of my purchase. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure when you're purchasing, check that the coupon code is working for the amount of what you're purchasing. I don't know if that made any sense or not. But so there's that code, and I'll put all this information down below. I'll put the links to her shops and the coupon codes down below. You could also get if you use the coupon code Stitchy Sarah 10, you get 10 euros off of a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription to one of their fabric or floss clubs. So that's a pretty great deal. There is a website for that. It's a Bitly club subscriptions website. I'll put that down below it as well, so you could just click on it. But here's what she sent me. It is gorgeous. Like I said, this is Tom and Lily Creations. And like I said, I will link the Etsy shop and the website down below so that you can go check them out and hopefully snag some of these beautiful, colorful flosses and fabrics for yourself. So thank you, Melanie, for sharing this with me. And I hope you guys will all go and take a look at her shops. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I have for today. I appreciate you guys spending time with me and seeing what I've been up to. I'd love to hear what you're up to, what you're stitching. And if you're stitching anything I'm stitching, let me know. That's always fun when people say, I'm working on that too, or I'm gonna get that and stitch it with you. So that always makes me smile. I guess that's it. I do plan on having some new market starts, so I'll show those to you as they come around. I did get the cookbook for the first time this year. I've never gotten the cookbook, so I'm excited maybe to stitch a couple things out of there, maybe cook a couple things out of there. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So anyway, I will stop here. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely week. I hope you get lots of stitching in, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.